Good morning and welcome to my channel, The Seeger Stories. My name is Jennifer Seeger. Welcome to another weekend vlog. It has been a while since we've done a weekend vlog, and I meant to start it yesterday, Friday actually, and I don't know what's wrong. I think it's the weather. It's been cold. We're supposed to be seeing spring and it's not springing. We had some snow and everything yesterday. So I actually ended up going to bed about 8 o'clock last night. We got done with work and just ran to Costco, which really wasn't a haul. Like literally we got toilet paper and water, and I think Nate got some taquitos or something like that. So not a haul. And then we needed just a couple things from our local grocery store, but again, not a haul, so not much worth showing. And after that, I was just exhausted. Like we got home about 7 and put a few things away and we're picking up, and I was like, I'm gonna go lay down. By 8 o'clock, I know I was like zonked. So I maybe just needed a really good night's sleep, but I'm up this morning, been up since 5. It is 5:54, so I've been up for just about an hour, just picking up and whatnot. I got my coffee made. I am loving I have so many cute Ray Dunn Easter mugs. I have Excited and this one and a hop to it, and then I also have Happy Easter, so I'm excited to use that because tomorrow is Easter. But I thought, you know, I would film this weekend. We've got a couple fun things going on this morning. I actually have a Bible study with a couple of my girlfriends. We usually do our Bible study via Zoom on Sundays, but of course it's Easter. So we were trying to find a time that worked today, and we've all got crazy busy schedules the day before Easter. So we are up and at 'em early this morning. We're gonna do a 7:30 Zoom meeting to just talk through our discussion questions, and then we'll watch the video portion of things on our own. So got that going on right away this morning. In our household, we had a saga of the Perkins gift card. Nate's grandma is so generous, and she gives us different gift cards and things for holidays, and we don't normally go out for breakfast or anything, but we had this Perkins gift card. So a couple weeks ago, we're like, oh, we should go out to Perkins and use that gift card. We couldn't find it anywhere. And we were kicking ourselves because this is not the first time we've lost a gift card. Like, it stays in the card, and Nate thinks I put it in my wallet. I think he puts it in his, and yeah, it's just, we can't find it. So I was doing, if you're following my channel, you know that I'm doing some of the challenges, and April's challenge is spring cleaning. So I was cleaning through these drawers, and somehow this card had like wedged itself in between. Like, we have IKEA furniture, and it's like in between the drawer and the bottom of the drawer, and it was white with just like a black strip and little writing, but I mean, it mostly blended in, so when we looked in that drawer, we didn't see it immediately, but I took everything out of the drawers, and there it was. So I texted Nate, and he was like, we are going out to breakfast on Saturday. So that's kind of been our date. So I have my coffee this morning. Like I said, I'm not gonna do a breakfast, we'll do a brunch, and then we have church that we want to go to today. Our church actually runs church for the Easter weekend. They start Thursday night. They have some services Friday night, throughout the day and evening on Saturday, and then on Sunday, just because we go to what is traditionally known as a mega church. We are members of Eaglebrook, or not members, but we go to Eaglebrook here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I think they have like 8 campuses, and each campus holds like 2,000 people per service. And it's just crazy to me that on Easter Sunday, they say they are turning people away, because for people that regularly attend, we're encouraged not to go to the Easter Sunday services, where people that may not attend church but once or twice a year on the big holidays, that's when they're going to church. So they kind of ask us to go. So sometime today, whenever it works in our schedule, we're going to go to church. And other than that, just have some prep for a couple things we're doing for Easter Sunday, and maybe I'll find time to work on my cleaning list. I don't know. We're kind of, Nate and I had a pact to leave April weekends open, because in March we felt like we got so overbooked. And of course, Easter was unavoidable. that's booked. We can't do anything about that. But otherwise, we've mostly like declined invitations for things and just said like, we need a minute to reset. So hopefully this will be a relaxing vlog. And I hope you will follow along with us and come on our weekend. So happy to have you here. I'm gonna go do a couple of remaining questions that I have for my Bible study, get my homework done today, and I will check in later. Hey, I just thought I would check in. It is about 9:30 and we are in the car. We are driving over to Perkins. We actually found one close to us. We thought we were gonna have to go on a little bit of a journey to get there, but it's actually just over in Stillwater, Minnesota. They've been closing a lot of Perkins, so it was kind of tricky to find one, but we are super hungry. We've been up since, I mean, I got up at 5. I think Nate got up a little before 7, and we've had a little snack here or there. We actually had some jelly beans in the car. Super healthy start today, but we'll get some good food in us, and then I think we're gonna run some errands and maybe try to reach the 2 o'clock church. Go to the 2 o'clock church. Had a really great Bible study this morning, and I did want to mention it because I think I brought up on a previous vlog that we were doing this Bible study. It's the God of Creation is what it's called. It's covering the first part of Genesis, and I wasn't really liking it at first because we were just spending so much time talking about like one sentence, like God created the heavens and the earth, like, and discussing it like ad nauseum. But now that we're digging into a little bit more and we're up to Noah and the flood, and I'm really enjoying that level of detail, and I'm noticing a lot that I never noticed before, because when you hear the story of Noah and the ark, you're probably a little kid, and I had always thought, you know, 2 by 2 of the animals, but in fact there were 7 of some of the animals, 7 pairs, that went onto the ark. So it's just really interesting, so I thought I would mention it because I know I mentioned it before and I wasn't a fan, but I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, it is a cold day. I can't believe I'm wearing my winter coat when I just packed away most of my winter stuff and got summer stuff out, and now it's 28 degrees here in Minnesota, but hopefully we'll have a good day being out and about. And yeah, we're gonna go have some yummy breakfast and I'll check in a little bit. Okay, we just sat down at Perkins and there is so much to choose from. It is insane. We ordered our beverages, got like coffee, and Nate got orange juice, but I'm super excited. They have the Coke Freestyle machine, and this is what we had at Disney in our hotel. They have them everywhere, not just Disney, but I was like super in love with some of like the Minute Maid offerings. And so I got coffee, but I was almost wishing I could do like, I used to mix the fruit punch and Sprite, or like peach and Sprite. It was just so good. And they have so many different options of lemonades and things that I just want to come back and like, I don't know, just experiment. I love the Coke Freestyle. I need one like in my life, but got a lot of breakfast choices. So what are you gonna have, Nate?
I think I'm gonna try the Big Country.
The Big Country?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's like a lot of food.
Yeah, it is.
We were trying to figure out, the last time we were here was, what did you say it was, 2018? Yeah, because my parents were here and they took us out to breakfast.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, looks like a lot of choices. I gotta get cracking and see what looks good here. All right, our food just got here. I had a muffin that went quickly. I gave Nate some, but not much. I got like a veggie omelet and some hash browns, and Nate got his Big Country skillet with a ginormous glass of orange juice, and I can't see your pancakes. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's a breakfast, sir.
We're gonna try, but
we'll see how it goes. It's a lot of food, and of course, yeah, lots and lots of coffee. So it has been a while since I've checked in. It is about 3:45. We're just getting home. We did 2 o'clock church, which ended a little bit after 3, and then we stopped just to pick up some bananas and a couple things we didn't want to get before we went to the service. But it's been a really good day running errands. I'll show you what we got actually. Hold on. So this is the culprit that took up most of our day. It's a window wand. I wanted something to wash the outside windows. I didn't necessarily, here, this is hard to see on our messy counter. Hi, Ruby. Hi, do you want to clean the windows? Fun times. I didn't necessarily need something that was like telescopic pole, but I was just looking for something like when you're at the gas station and by the pump, they have that wand that like cleans and then has the squeegee, because my windows are really tall and even with the ladder, I can't reach very well. And anyway, we went to 3 different stores. Like Target didn't have anything. We went to Lowe's, and then we found this at Fleet Farm, which is, I think, a more local kind of hardware everything chain. So it's not exactly what I wanted, but it'll work. We also stopped at Trader Joe's. We've never tried this before, so I think we're gonna try it with dinner. We've got some salad we're gonna eat up and do some focaccia bread, and then also making kind of a veggie pasta. This brown rice pasta, we actually bought a bag and ate it within the week. It is so good. We're not gluten-free, but it is gluten-free if you are a gluten-free person. I can't recommend it enough. It is just amazing. It tastes like regular white pasta. And sometimes, you know, I like the taste of whole wheat, but sometimes you're looking for something that's like a little healthier than your standard starchy white. Nate, their bags make me laugh so hard. Plumber's Butt Fix. This is Duluth Trading Company. Nate just got jeans there. Nothing very exciting. We found this at Lowe's. We were in desperate need of not yet. This is for mosquitoes. We don't have those yet, but we were wanting our tiki torches that our former homeowners left us, and they were completely out of fuel. So we're gonna try that this summer. Glad that we got it picked up. And then I thought this was sweet. Nate picked this out for his mom because we are going to his parents for Easter Sunday tomorrow. So it's a lily, and they're smelling amazing. We smelled them in quite a few stores today. And hoping it blooms before we go tomorrow for Easter. So those are our meager purchases for, I don't know how many hours. Like we finished up at Perkins about maybe 10:30, quarter to 11. So that's like 11, 12, 1, like 4 hours, 3.5 hours of errand running. Not good at math. But we don't have a lot to show for it for all the stores that we went into. And we are not big shoppers. So we were kind of drained, but it was nice to go to the service. We went to the 2 o'clock thinking that it would be dead, and it was packed, like full house, crazy at 2 o'clock on a Saturday. So glad that we went to church. Good message. They had some people share stories. As always, when that happens, it's a tearjerker for me. So it was just a really good service. We had a good afternoon. But now I've got just a couple hours before I'm gonna start dinner. Dinner's like a quick and easy. I'm just gonna throw it together, so I don't have a lot of prep for that. But I had that relaxing time in church, so I think I'm gonna use the time to work on my April to-do list. Again, if you're following my channel, my challenges for the month, I'm doing like a challenge or kind of spreading out resolutions, and April is Get Organized month, and I'm diligently working through a list with well over 100 items on it. So I think we're gonna try to tackle some of those and then get to making dinner.
So I'm doing this kind of spring cleaning challenge in the month of April, and I have over 150 items on my to-do list. And I find that it's easier. Some of them are pretty small and some are a little more complex. So I like to, when I have a little bit of time, combine a small task with a bigger task. So my smaller task for today that I'm working on is just lining these baskets that we keep in our kitchen for onions, sweet potatoes, and potatoes, which are the root vegetables that we typically keep on hand. Don't need to be refrigerated and like to keep them in the kitchen. So I just cut a couple bags, one each way, and kind of line the bottom. These baskets have seen better days, so they are a little holy on the bottom, and it just keeps the onion skins and things from falling through. I guess there's not much that falls through with potatoes, but I just think it keeps it neater. I had this done in our old townhouse, but for some reason I haven't done it since we moved all of this over to our new house. So felt really good to get that completely done and those tucked away. And then my big project I wanted to tackle for today was the pantry. Now the pantry was semi-organized, sort of organized when we moved in October, but I feel like you're always when you're moving into a new space, kind of arranging and trying to figure out how things fit in best. And I moved from a walk-in pantry that I knew really well and exactly how things fit into it to this pantry that's more just a cabinet. And don't get me wrong, it is a lot of storage. I still don't feel like it's as much as my walk-in pantry, but I can get a lot in here. So I have the canned foods mostly organized the way that I wanted them, and I like having them separated by type, and then this Lazy Susan in the front with just some odd things. I don't know why we have Cheese Whiz. I honestly can't remember, but I don't know when we're gonna use it up. But we have kept that pretty organized. We also have this area for breakfast storage, and it is constantly a struggle keeping the toaster in here with the crumbs. And I tried to deep clean our toaster even, and I kept trying to shake it out and get the crumbs out and vacuuming the counter as I went. And I polished it even with some stainless steel polish and got it shined up really well, but there were still crumbs inside. So even when I cleaned these little, I don't know what you call them, crumb catchers, it was still everywhere. So if you have a tip on that, leave me a comment and let me know. But I haven't really finalized or finished this up. Like I said, I like having the drawers. There's good storage there, but it's hard that they're not compartmentalized, and don't want to go out and buy new containers. So I feel like I'm constantly rearranging, trying to make it all fit. And yeah, this is real life, like rearranging a million times to try to get it to fit. This is the drawer we use mostly for like the dinner stuff. And you can see I have these like bright lime green Post-it notes on top that I am finally replacing. This is another small task. I actually wrote it out separately. I am finally replacing the Post-its with some labels I made for my label maker. We just have almond flour, cornmeal, quinoa, rice, and I think flaxseed is the other one there. And then I knew I wanted to do kind of a big overhaul on the bottom because we've never really had those sorted or organized. And we keep one for snacks, and I thought I would kind of redo one for some of the baking supplies that I had to keep in the back because these cupboards are super duper deep and it is hard to get back there. I mean, you need a step stool, practically a ladder if you are trying to reach something in the back. So I just wanted to use overfill in the back, move things up towards the front, and then try to get some more of the clear acrylic containers to organize some of the shelves, and then keep our snacks. I'm using just some wicker, these seagrass baskets, I guess they're not wicker, that I picked up at the Container Store to hold some of the snacks, and then just organize some of the baking supplies, which I was a little nervous about putting chocolate chips down where our dog could reach them, but she's really good about it. It's not like we leave the pantry open. So I'm gonna pray that things are gonna be okay. At least it feels good to have it semi-organized, and hope that it stays organized, but feels nice to have kind of the snacks in one spot and then the baking stuff more accessible. Okay, it is just about, what time is it? Like 6:30? Just about, and we are just getting ready to eat. I thought I'd show you our dinner. So we have the focaccia that we heated up in the oven from Trader Joe's, and it's a job of cutting it because it got a little sticky, but this is what we're having for pasta. It's just pasta marinara sauce, and then grab the bag here. It's actually these veggies that we get in the freezer section at Costco, and I saved the bag because we've actually eaten this in about 2 weeks, so we will be going back for more. It's just, they are so good, and just really quick in the microwave. They mix really, really great. This is the brown rice pasta that we got at Trader Joe's with just a store-bought marinara. And then we just have a salad, spring greens with some onion, cucumber, and then just from a local restaurant. They actually gave me a little extra the other day, a champagne vinaigrette. So everything looks so delicious, and I cannot wait to dig in. So what do you do after a semi-healthy meal and a workout in the evening, Nate?
You go to Dairy Queen,
You go to Dairy Queen. We're here. We're gonna grill and chill, as the sign says.
Grill and chill.
We're just gonna get a sweet treat. Ruby is along with us. She's looking anxiously to get her pup cup. I'm not sure what I'm gonna have. I'm very disappointed in Dairy Queen because I found out last week I really wanted a Star Kiss bar. They don't carry them anymore. And I'm telling people this throughout the week, like I'm outraged, like I can't believe they don't carry Starkist bars, and nobody knew what they were. Like I was telling people at work, nobody knew what they were. So if you know what they are and have enjoyed them in the past, please leave me a comment below. You're my people. But I'm so sad. I think I found sort of a substitute. We're gonna try out a new flavor of the Misty Freeze, and I think it might taste Starkist bar-like. But if you're not familiar, a Starkist bar, a Dairy Queen, it was like the creamy, sherbety version of a dilly bar. Instead of ice cream that was dipped in something, it was like they had grape or cherry in the form of or shape of a star on a stick, and it was like, it was sherbet, but it was creamy. I don't know if it was ice cream or what it was. It was, they were so good, and they were all through my childhood, adulthood. It wasn't like I had it every time I came to Dairy Queen, but it was like a fallback staple, and now it is not available. So it's a very sad thing. I'm gonna see how this goes. I'll check in a little bit. Ruby, are you next? Are you so excited for your pup cup? Ruby, are you so excited? Are you stamping your feet?
Just leave me alone.
I'm stamping my feet because I'm so excited to get my pup cup. Oh my goodness.
Make it right.
What is it, Ruby? Is this yours? No, you can't have that.
Awesome.
Hey!
Thank you.
Okay, there you go. There's a pup cup for a pup. She's like going to town. So we just got back from Dairy Queen. How's your blizzard, Nate?
That's good.
What'd you get?
I got Oreo dirt pie.
Oreo dirt pie. That has like, it's a new one, so it's got like Oreo, and I think they're supposed to be gummy bears.
They're supposed to be gummy bears.
Gummy worms in it.
Yeah, gummy worms, and I have not got to them yet.
Can I have a gummy worm when you get there?
Yes.
I love frozen gummy worms. So I got, oh, it looks brown. It looks brown. It like matches our couch. I got the grape Misty Freeze. So I'm trying to recreate a Starkist bar. It's really good. It's like a grape Mr. Misty, or are they just called Misties now?
Misty Freeze, I think they're called, right?
Well, Misty Freeze because it has ice cream in it. So Mr. Misty would just be like a slushie. This is a slushie with ice cream, so it's a little crunchy. Really good, great flavor. Not quite a Starkist bar, but I'm not mad at it. Anyway, we're gonna enjoy our treats. Ruby already finished hers and is wiping her face on the carpet. So cute. I think we're gonna try to find a movie to watch or something before we get ready for bed. So I'll check in later. Hello, so it is just about 10 o'clock. And I almost forgot that I set out dough so I could make peanut butter rolls for tomorrow morning, because I absolutely love peanut butter rolls. They're kind of a family tradition. I know a lot of people aren't familiar with peanut butter rolls, so I thought I would show you how to make them. I'm just gonna get them kind of rolled up and in the pan, and then they'll raise in the fridge overnight. So tomorrow I'll just bake them in the morning and make frosting, and that'll be our breakfast. So earlier in the day, probably around 3 o'clock, I took out 2 of the frozen bread dough loaves. These are actually just, you could thaw and make a loaf of it, but I'm gonna use them for rolls. And then I also took out the dinner rolls. We're just gonna put those in the fridge overnight. But at 3 o'clock, like I said, I took out 2 of the loaves and put them in a baggie to thaw and rise. So took maybe, what is that, about 7 hours, and they got pretty big in there. If I wanted to make my life easier, which apparently I don't, I'd have sprayed the baggie so the dough came out a little easier, but it was fine. I did grease up the counter to make it easier, and really these are stupid simple. Like, it's just frozen bread dough. I use this dough roller that I'll link below, but mostly work with my hands just to get it into a big old rectangle. And then it is just like making a sandwich. Kind of, you butter like a big old piece of bread, spread a thin layer of butter, and then a thin layer of peanut butter on top. And then you're gonna wanna add some granulated sugar that I just have in a sugar shaker. And again, pretty generous with it, not too much. And then just roll it up pretty tightly and slice into 1 to 1.5 inch thick slices and put in a grease pan. You can use Pam, but I like to use butter. And I only have room for 12 rolls in the pan, so I'm gonna put the extras out on a plate and just freeze those so I can thaw, rise, and bake those at a later time.
So that didn't take too long. It is 10:13, so less than, I don't know, it was just about 10 o'clock. So less than, I was gonna say less than 10 minutes, but clearly I'm tired and can't do math. Less than 20 minutes. Anyway, got the kitchen, can't talk, somewhat picked up. Tomorrow we'll get up and finish the rolls, or really start the rolls. I've only thawed them, so I've got to get those going because that's what we're bringing tomorrow for Easter, along with the ham, which is already cooked, but I need to heat that up. It's meant to be eaten cold, but the family voted and we're heating. So need to figure that out, do the rolls, the dinner rolls, and do the breakfast rolls. But clearly I need some sleep. So I'm gonna sign off for the night and I will check in with you in the morning. Good morning and happy Easter. So it is about, I think it's like 20 after 6. I have just been up for a little bit, got my coffee made, of course. Step one, always in the morning, I'm having a we'll call it a double shot vanilla latte this morning, and it is quite tasty. I am not mad at it. I'm definitely gonna have another cup or two when we are eating our peanut butter rolls, but I just pulled them out of the fridge and they are not quite raised up enough, which I didn't expect them, I guess, to raise so much in the fridge overnight. I guess sometimes I've had them do that, but I'd like them to get a little bit taller. But I have my oven preheating, so it kind of warms up the kitchen a little bit. Probably leave them on the counter another hour or so and catch them wherever they're at that point and stick them in the oven because we don't need to be eating super early this morning. But what I do need to be working on is the rolls that we are bringing. I'm gonna make pull-apart dinner rolls, which is something my mom always made for like celebrations, fancy occasions, holidays, whatnot. And they're super simple to do, so let me show you how we're doing that. So there's a lot of different brands. I took these out and put them in the fridge to thaw yesterday. There's a lot of different brands, but the Rhodes is my fave, what works best for us. The bread dough I don't really care about, but I always like the Rhodes bun dough. I think it's a little, the dinner rolls feel like they're a little sweeter. Anyway, I have this package of 36, I think, are in there, and I don't know if I'll use them all. I already pre-greased 2 extra long loaf pans, and if I can find these below, I will link them. I just greased them again using butter, and got those nice and done. So what I'm gonna do is roll up the dinner rolls and let them rise. So when we want, it's just like a piece of fresh bread you can break off. So I'm gonna get rolling here. Look at all those thawed dinner rolls. So they're not frozen at all anymore and really, really pliable. So it's gonna make it easy to roll. But one thing that my mom always had us do, and we would help with this when we were little, and it's kind of gross. So this may not be for you, but it does make your life easier if you take a pat of butter on your hands. So they're slippery to work with the dough. And then I'm just gonna roll these out kind of into, I don't know, almost stretch them out really into little tiny rolls the size of my hand, or the size of the pan rather, and then just set them inside. So I'm gonna get going and see how many I can get in here. All right, I've got everything ready to rise. So I was glad that I had an extra 12 so people can have regular, just a bun or a dinner roll if they prefer. And then 12 each for the long loaf pans. Again, these are These are longer than standard loaf pans, so I didn't know if they would actually fit more than 12, but they each fit 12 perfectly. So just need these to rise. It'll probably take around 2 or 3 hours. The kitchen's gonna warm up as the sun comes in. Plus I have the oven on to bake the rolls. Here's where we're at with the status of the rolls. As you can see, they've raised up enough that I could throw them in the oven right now, but they are so good when they're hot and fresh, and we just aren't quite ready to eat yet. So I'm going to let those sit. I'm gonna get these covered up. You can use plastic wrap that's been sprayed down, which is what I did for the rolls, or I might just use, since this is a big thing, just a wet towel over top of all of it will keep it all from sticking. So I think I'll do that. And my oven's preheated. It's about 20 to 7. We'll wait half an hour and throw the rolls in and have some yummy breakfast pretty soon. So Nate just popped the rolls in the oven. We've got about 3 minutes left on those, and I'll need them to cool a little bit before I can frost them, but I thought I would show you how I make the frosting, or icing, if you will, for the peanut butter rolls. So I'm just gonna use, I'm just gonna use my stand mixer for this. You can do it by hand in a bowl. But I'm just going to use the paddle attachment and make it super simple here to, there we go. I'm just going to use the paddle attachment and the mixture. It makes it a little creamier if you whip it up. So here we go.
Like the peanut butter rolls, I don't really have a recipe for this. I just put in a big old spoonful of peanut butter, and then if you want it creamy, you can add some butter, but that's optional. And then it's really a combination of powdered sugar and water. I usually start with like a cup of powdered sugar, add somewhere around 1/8 to 1/4 cup of water, and then from there add more powdered sugar if it's watery, and add more water if it's too lumpy. And you just beat it. Like I said, you can do this by hand, but I like the paddle mixer because it gets really super creamy.
That is it. It is so super simple. It's just a thin icing. I'm gonna let that drip off and just leave it in the bowl until we're ready to ice. And Ruby's living her best life, licking the peanut butter off the spoon. How you doing, Tubes? So the timer actually did go off on the oven. I have them in 350. Ooh, if I can get that zoomed in. For 15 minutes, but they're still a little doughy, so we're closing that on up, and coming up on 8 o'clock, probably get 3 or 4 minutes left, and then we'll be frosting and eating. Okay, the rolls are done. I would normally try to flip them out onto a cooling rack and then set the other cooling rack on top and flip them over so they weren't in a pan, but they really raised up, and I don't know if I didn't have my dough rolled thin enough, but I really think I'm just gonna leave them in the pan since it is just Nate and I eating here. So I'm gonna get going, frost these. They're a little warm and the icing will just kind of melt. I'm just gonna kind of drizzle it over, I think. But I also made up some pog juice special for the occasion. So we get these Hawaiian Sun juices at World Market, and I just did like the store brand of frozen OJ in this picture and then added a can each, and just like pog juice from Disney World. So super excited about that. Gonna get these frosted and then have a yummy breakfast. All right, so there may be a little warm to frost, but I am always impatient because I love a hot, fresh peanut butter roll. So I'm just gonna kind of scoop, half drizzle some of this icing on top, and then we will be ready to eat. Nate is actually queuing up. We watched church yesterday, but Nate worked on the Sunday before, so we missed that message, and it kind of feels like on Easter Sunday I want to be at church. It's kind of strange to not be, so we're gonna watch that message while we enjoy breakfast. This is a lot of icing. Whoa. Ooey gooey deliciousness. And I used up most of the icing. We still have a little extra for the side here if we want it. And there's breakfast. I'm so excited to dig into this. I cannot wait. So I came out to check on my stuff. It is about 10:15 right now. And I had the rolls and 2 pans of pull-apart dinner rolls covered with just a single layer of towel. And this was my fault, because if you're gonna use a wet towel instead of plastic wrap, that towel needs to stay wet. If it doesn't, you can get dough sticking to it, which of course didn't happen because it was just hitting the top of the pan, but my rolls kind of stuck here. So they're looking pretty sad. Plus they lost a little of what they had raised in the time that they were sitting here. And the dinner rolls aren't quite where I'd like them to be, though they're close. I want to get everything in the oven here by 11 o'clock because we're leaving at about 11:30. I want fresh baked rolls. So what I did is I just took a saucepan and boiled some water in it. And let's see if I can do this one-handed. My oven is still actually, oh boy, that was not what you want, folks. Oh, shame on me for trying to do this one-handed. Hold please while I clean up an oven. Okay, round 2. Good thing I had clean oven on my April to-do list. I mean, it's nasty gross in here, but to make my oven kind of a proofing box, and like I was saying, it's still a little bit warm from when we had it on this morning. Just putting this shallow pan of boiling water in here, and like those are almost ready. I don't even know if they need it, but my buns need to come a long way in a little bit. So it's about 10:21. I'm gonna check this again at 1:45. The buns might need to stay in and the others come out, but this will speed things up a little bit. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes and the rolls are exactly where we want them to be. So I'm gonna pop everything out and then get our oven preheating. The buns raised really, really well. They still have some markings on them from hitting the towel, but you know, they won't be pretty, but I bet they'll taste good. Okay, we just took the pull-apart dinner rolls out. They look so amazing. I'm just gonna put a little bit of butter on top. And I just put a little bit on a knife because this is gonna melt super duper fast, but just wanna give it a nice buttery top. And I'm gonna let them sit in the pans for, oh, get away from me, for maybe, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, not long at all. I don't want them to be, I don't want the weight of the top to, ooh, this is really melty. I should have used a paper towel. That's always my go-to with butter. But I don't want, because they're a little crispy or heavier on top, I don't want the weight of that to crush how light it is and fluffy on the bottom. So I'll wait a couple minutes and tip them out on their sides. The buns need another couple minutes, so should be getting it all out in a few minutes. All right, so the pull-aparts came out okay. They are super soft, so I'm trying to keep them so they don't collapse. And I don't want to put them in any sort of bowl, so I just have this basket that I lined with a napkin to try to gently maybe pull apart here, just in the middle so they fit. Look how amazingly delicious that looks. I'm so excited for this, but I'm just gonna drop those in to our basket and probably try to fit them in here a little bit and get it covered up. And then over here, we've got our ham. That's the foil that it came in. We've got some Kerrygold butter, the lilies, and then I did just take the buns out and they're a little overdone, but they're going to work. So yeah, that is how we've messed up our kitchen today. It is just gonna be terrible coming home to a messy kitchen, but as sometimes happens, we completely ran out of time. So we're gonna pack this all up in the car, hit the road, and have a nice Easter with family, and I'll check in later. Hello, good morning. No, good morning, but it's just about 8 o'clock. We got home. Easter was lovely, by the way. We were with Nate's family and really good food. The kids, as always, our niece and nephew are there. And they're still at an age where they get Easter baskets and, you know, just have fun playing different games, toys, whatever. So it was really cute watching them. We got home about 5 o'clock and I promptly zonked out, pretty much. Like, we went and changed, I put on comfy clothes, And Nate's like, let's just watch a little bit of the Wild game, and then we were gonna make some dinner, and I fell asleep and woke up when the Wild were in overtime. So I kind of didn't pick up the camera, obviously wasn't doing anything. We just put in a pizza, frozen pizza DiGiorno that we're gonna eat for dinner here. Just chill the rest of the night. So I know today wasn't really a lot going on. I feel like all we've done is bake, but I do hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the weekend vlog. If you did, please click like and subscribe below. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back with some non-baking related content pretty soon. But until then, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.